If you missed the opening at the top of the program, we are coming to you today from Melrose Avenue, where we came for the opening night of the show Atom vs. Astro by Luis de Guzman, who is the hottest Filipino American artist right now. Here is his story. Luis de Guzman,
Yes.
considered to be the hottest Filipino artist right now in America. Has it sunk in yet?
It hasn't sunk in because I don't consider myself the hottest young Asian American Filipino artist in America. There's so many greats that have been paving the way for the longest time, and I'm just happy to be part of the conversation. Very honored, humbled, and just happy to be here.
Born and raised in Chicago to Filipino parents.
Yes.
Tell us about your art. At what age did you realize that this was what you wanted to become?
I think, it's a common story of like, hey, you've been doing this your whole life, ever since you were a kid. It literally hasn't been like that. I think I've always been just drawn to visuals, and, my mom, really big on arts and crafts. As I was growing up, she took me to a lot of her craft shows because no one would babysit me. And so she'd, to pass the time, I'd help her with her crafts, or I'd help her sell stuff at her booth. And her being like literally the only Filipino woman in a room full of Caucasian, other descent women, it was cool to see that and not really know that just yet what my heritage was. But all I knew is that we look different, but you're still speaking the same language,
Right. Art is mostly an expression, right?
Absolutely.
When you found it, what did you want to express first? Do you recall those expressions, the messages?
A lot of the expression comes from my excitement, how I feel when I'm creating something. It really relies on just natural feeling and emotion. I get excited about things because I know that this is the thing that I'm meant to be doing. And when I create, it feels good knowing that whatever I'm making can hopefully give that same energy off to people by just looking at something. And that's something that I've learned that has become a thing recently, because I've had people message me or email me and just be like, hey, your work makes me happy. It gets me excited. It gets me motivated.
Right.
So for me to be able to do that, I think the job is done. Yeah.
I love that you're also born to Filipino parents,
Yeah.
born and raised in Chicago, with being Filipino.
Yeah.
How much of that Filipinoness comes out in your art?
I would say, as Filipinos doing things in the art field, dance, music, expression, it's exciting. That's where my Filipinoness comes from. I think the pride. Filipinos have a lot of pride.
Right.
And just hearing the stories of how my parents, my aunts, uncles who have come here have lived before, and seeing how we're living now, it's a pride thing. I always say that I do this for my family, because I really do. I do this for everything they worked hard and dreamed of having. They didn't have this kind of life that they gave us here, so no time to waste. Just having fun and doing what we love.
But when you mention your Filipino parents, I know that you probably already know too that you're quite lucky that you've had the support of your parents.
Yes.
Actually, I'm assuming. Tell me about that.
I'm never gonna forget this conversation. I remember talking to my father, and he says, do what you love. He told me this, I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. It's like, because growing up, when he was my age, he wanted to be a musician. Mm-hmm. Even younger than that, he was in a band in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And, he always said, do what you love. It's a thing. He said that. My mom's always been the same way. They never questioned my direction in life, as long as I was being a good kid and responsible. It was more so hey, keep a straight head on your shoulder, do what you love, and as long as you do it with pure, genuine heart and soul. They've always been excited about it. Mm-hmm. Looking like us and speaking like us, but being able to do things that are not normal. Mm-hmm. And very just humbling, and all these blessings. It's been crazy.
Do they know that you are the hottest right now?
They don't tell me that, but I think they understand where I'm going with my work.
Right.
My mom would love to just obsess over. She doesn't have Instagram. She'll Google search my Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, how can you tell us about this? I just have to find it.
I would say it's now misconception, because I've interviewed so many artists that are doing well because they did not give up, right?
Yeah,
but there are others also who fail to make it, or who just keep trying but still haven't been given the break.
Yeah.
What would you say to those?
Don't give up. You gotta keep going. Keep going. Literally keep going. It's a thing where we have been, I'm thankful to have a team who's helped me push this far and is supporting myself, but meanwhile also me supporting them, it's been a whole thing. And I
Right.
think supporting artists and like moving forward as far as just like not giving up is important.
Right.
I didn't give up. My work ranges from a lot of different mediums. A lot of it is, you know, right now, like, as you've seen in the room, acrylic paintings on canvas, fiberglass sculpture work, just a bunch of just different mixed medium projects that I've happened to like learn and kind of study and expand. You know, I want to do other things. As an artist, like we don't want to be confined. We want to experiment with materials and just finishes and styles and things. So I think that's really important. And for me, it's like I'm not kept in a box.
Yeah.
I want to keep having fun. And the more I've had fun, the more we've gotten to do things like this.
Yeah.
And be here with you today.
I love that behind you. I mean,
Thank you
something
so
like
much.
that. How long did it take you to make that?
This one took like 3 to 4 months, and it was a thing where it had to get approved by the actual like licensee of Tezuka, Japan, who
Right.
owns the rights to Astro Boy.
Right.
So it takes time, and getting the sketches and the deals right, like it's definitely a thing where we had to make sure that it was just going to be structured properly and be able to balance and work the way,
Right.
you know, it sits now.
I tried to copy the hair. You know, I normally have my hair down,
Yeah.
so I tried to copy the hair here, right?
Yeah.
No, but what about the paintings? How long does it take you?
Paintings, they take 2 to 3 months at a time. We work really fast, and luckily, like my team, like we all have the same precision eye, and I trust them. It's like, you know, we're all in together. So I would start one, and they would help me add on to others and help finish some stuff up. So the paintings are a big team effort, as you can see. Like
Right.
it's a collective.
Atom versus Astro.
Adam versus Astro.
If you were to describe what this is about, what is it?
It's about basically self-reflection, kind of fighting your inner battles,
Yes.
and kind of just seeing where your potential lies.
Right.
You know, as individuals, and that's for me every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my messaging is about inspiring others to believe and pursue and fight for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the biggest things in life is like fighting ourselves
Right.
and how we grow up to be, and just making sure that we can like deal and be strong, hold against ourselves and hold ourselves accountable.
Right.
And the more we're genuine good people, like Mom says, and keep our feet on the ground, the more we're gonna win in
I
life.
love that.
Yeah.
And also, the more you know yourself, self-reflection is very important. The
It's
more
very
you know
important.
yourself, the more like you're self-aware, the more you can do things
Exactly.
properly and better, right?
Yep.
Big day for you. Are you excited? Nervous?
Excited, nervous, anxious, all of the above. I think it's like, you know, you prep a whole, you know, your whole life, or just like working for so long, and it always comes down to like the one day where you get to share your work with the world with people you've never met, like yourself, and it's very humbling. It's crazy. I'm excited though. It'll be like a reunion, because I'm gonna have a lot of friends and family coming out to this opening reception tonight that I haven't seen. I used to live in Los Angeles for like about a year and a half, so I have a home here. But
What would be a successful night for you?
just have everyone enjoy themselves, have fun, and you know, a successful night is just seeing smiles and people really intrigued by the work, and kind of walk away with something and take away something that, you know, was like, oh, this is awesome.
What would be success for you?
Success for me is to keep doing what I love every day,
Yeah.
and just to keep pursuing what's in my heart and having the same feeling over and over again. You know, I always remind myself where I was when I was a kid doing this. I still feel the same way, and I want to
love
keep that energy alive.
Love that. So you're doing this, you've done SpongeBob, you've done all the other characters, you're doing collabs with New Balance.
Yeah.
What more do you want to achieve?
A lot of these things that just happen, and I think the more I want to achieve is just to keep doing this and inspire the next generation, you know, and to be a vessel, and you know, for me being Filipino American, be a vessel for the fellow Filipino American like creatives that want to get out of the industry, because they can. You know, I always say it to people, like, we're all in this together, because we are. I'm not in this by myself. I'm not a selfish person. I want to share all these memories and energy with everyone.
Love that. And speaking of sharing, share your the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten.
The best piece of advice I ever got was my dad.
Which is do what you love.
Yeah.
What about when the going got tough for you? Like, because you know, it's not always rosy, right? There's struggles. There were struggles.
Yeah.
What keeps you going?
When I was told that my work helps make people happy, or
Yeah.
gives them joy, like I had a collector one time tell me, he's like, hey, like your pieces in my home, and every time I leave the house for the day for work, it just reminds me that all is good, like things like that. And I don't want to let those people down,
Right.
because then if I do, then I'm like kind of lying to myself. What am I creating for? I'm creating for myself, to feel good, and I want to give that to other people. So, yeah.
Love it. What's on the horizon for you?
We're launching, at Melrose Astro, opening this exhibit in Los Angeles via Bait Gallery on Melrose. So this is going to be open until the 24th. This weekend, I'm releasing my first ever 400 and 1,000% bear brick. It's been a dream to do that. I didn't think I'd ever had my own, which is very humbling. We're releasing our New Balance shoes very soon as well, Foot Locker. We have some surprises next year, and you know, we had a call today and potentially have my first show in London. For me, I do things that align with my values and how I'm feeling. I don't want to do it just to do it. And
Just, yeah.
it has to make sense for me. A lot of this stuff happened because I just had, I always say heart and soul and mind, just believing in yourself. Because all that other stuff that people see, like how to live, you're gonna figure that out. I'm figuring it out.
Right.
We all are.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, message for your fans and supporters.
Salamat sa lahat. I can say that.
Yeah.
Thank you for all for the support and love, and I'm just happy to be here. And can't wait to share this body of work with you and others to follow. So thank you for following this journey with me.
Love this. Thank you.
Thank you.